Hi, my name is David, and I'm currently in my 3B term of urban planning,
My name is Carly, and I'm in Honors Life Sciences Psychology.
and we're here today to answer any questions you might have about your co-op experience and your work integrated learning opportunities.
So I'm actually in my first work term right now. Even though it's not in necessarily the field that I want to go in the future, it's still a job in research, and that's what I'm interested in doing in the future. So that's definitely helping me, even if it's not related to my field. Those fundamental research skills, learning how to do a literature review, are things that I wouldn't have been able to gain without this co-op job. So I'm going to have the opportunity to get primary authorship on a paper, which is a very unique opportunity, and I feel very grateful to have that opportunity because not a lot of students get that in undergrad. Either way, you'll have 4 to 6 work terms to learn about yourselves, where you thrive and where you still have room to grow, and all things that will get you a head start after graduation.
So for Waterloo work terms, the amount you make will definitely vary, and it's really due to a lot of different factors. So for example, what industry you're working, where you're working in, whether it's public-private sector, what co-op term it is, the actual experience and skills that you have. And on the Waterloo's co-op website, there's also some really great resources there that kind of show the average earnings for different co-op terms and different programs. Personally, for me, I think at this early stage of my career, I was really trying to tell myself that the amount of money shouldn't be the most important factor. Really, it should come down to, do I think this experience is going to be helpful for me? And will this help expand my skills and my background to set me up for later jobs? And I think it's important to understand that your earnings for this term are much shorter compared to your full career. So really, I think it's important to have that long-term thinking and really choose experiences that are going to help set you up for your full-time career later on.
I actually worked a summer job in between my first and second year because I was on an off term, and so I wasn't in school or co-op. So I did apply to a summer job, and I worked for my municipal government, and I worked an administrative position within the social services department of my city. Getting even that foundational work experience was very important in being able to have something on my resume that showed that I could communicate with others, that I was dependable to show up to work on time, and that I worked in a professional setting. Even if they weren't super relevant, I was still able to show that I had critical thinking, problem solving, and that I was able to work on a task long term from those summer job experiences.
How do I meet employers? Like I understand that there's like some events and stuff, but coming to know of those events, like what do I look out for?
So there are many ways to meet employers both on and off campus. So on campus, many companies will do employer information sessions. So these are sessions where different employers from various companies will come in and give a presentation about the company and about the jobs before you're actually applying and interviewing for those jobs. Another new feature that's being run is the networking and professional events calendar in Waterloo Works. And this is a really great way to learn more about when different companies are putting on different events that are open to students, and you can hear more about different opportunities. So when I think about expanding my overall network, I think it's really important to try to develop relationships with all your colleagues in the office, not just your direct supervisor, because often industries are very small, or rather smaller than you might think. People in the industry know a lot of other people in the industry, and that can be a great way to expand your network. The other thing that is really important to remember is that there are senior students in your program who have gone through similar jobs to you and have a lot more job experience. And senior students are often quite willing to help you when you're kind of first starting out and trying to meet new people. And talking to senior students who have worked at a lot of different jobs can really give you a better idea of what it's like to work at these different jobs, kind of what the work culture is like, what the expectations are. So reaching out to senior students in your program, especially ones who have worked at specific jobs that you're interested in, can be a great way to expand your network as well.
When I was on my recruiting term, a week before all the co-op applications were due, I was at the Center for Career Action every single day that week. I was at the one-on-one appointments. They also had a drop-in to help you with your resume and with cover letter writing. They really gave me some super helpful tips to what to include in the cover letter versus the resume, what sort of skills and qualities that I should put on my resume when I showed them what the job qualifications were. for the job that I was specifically applying to. It was super helpful to get that advice. I think that really helped me get the interviews, was writing those cover letters to be super specific to the company and what I could, how I could fit within that company. So I'm involved in Science Society, and when I was on my first recruiting term, it was really helpful to be a part of that society and have that network of upper years that I could reach out to and have them review my resume, because so many of them had already gone through the co-op process multiple times. There were upper years who had already done 3 or 4 work terms, so they had a lot of wealth of knowledge that I could kind of just tap into. Having both perspectives, the student perspective and the advisor perspective, was really helpful.